Who are you when nobody's watching? Not the version you post, not the version you perform at work. It's the one that shows up at midnight when the day's over and there's nothing left to prove. I used to hate that version of me because late night, after all the productivity, the planning, the content ideas, I'd sit there and I'd realize I hadn't really moved. It felt like I was performing growth without actually doing the work. So that midnight version of me knew the truth, and I kept trying to outrun it. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the parts of ourselves we suppress, ignore, and hide. Not because they're evil, but because we're afraid of what it might reveal. He believed that you couldn't become who you're meant to be until you're willing to sit with who you actually are. Not the highlight reel, just the raw, unedited file. Jung said that the shadow doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It just gets louder. David Letterman spoke about this after he retired. For decades, he was one of the most powerful figures in late night. Sharp, celebrated, untouchable on camera. But he admitted that the version of himself he showed the world was almost entirely constructed. It was a performance so consistent, he'd lost track of where it ended and where it began. After leaving the show, he said he didn't know who he was without it. The audience, the format, the chair, they were all just scaffolding. And when they were gone, he had to meet himself for what felt like the first time. He described it as terrifying and necessary. It was his midnight version that had been waiting the entire time. So here's what I'm doing. I'm stopping running away from that version of me, because I think the most powerful and honest work that I can make comes from that place. Not the polished version, but the real one. If your midnight self has been trying to tell you something, then maybe it's time you listen. Day 5 is coming, so don't miss it.